decades ago. It was such a long time ago in my life. I had a dream, like the visualization that I just shared with you. I had this dream. And shortly before I had the dream, it was a very difficult time in my life. I had lost my friend, Ruth. She died young of cancer, and I lost my teacher, Golden Eagle Bear. He also died of cancer. My friend, Brother Philip Francis, I adored. He also passed. In this very short amount of time, a half a dozen of the people I loved very much in my life made their transition, and I was bereft. I was so sad, and I was grieving, and I met this monk. He was 99 years old at the time, and he actually was the model for Yoda. His name is Bhante Dharmawara, and he lived 111 years. And for the last decade of his life, I spent a lot of time with him. But before I made the decision to do that, I had this dream. I had this dream that horses and people were laying down together in a field, and that my horse from my childhood led me there. And the Buddha put roses around my horse, and we laid down together with all these other horses, like endless horses and people in this dream. And I woke up and I knew I had to study with this man, Bhante Dharmawara. I just had to. And so I went to my very first silent meditation retreat, knowing absolutely nothing about silent retreats at all. And it was on a sheep farm. And I was young and athletic, and it was very painful to sit there in the silence and try not to move for days and days, It's really hard work. But as many of you know who have done practices that are difficult, if you are able to stick with it, there's just incredible gifts. And I want to honor Bhante, one of the last living forest monks, for giving me an image of what it means to be truly human and connected to nature. And I also want to honor Monty Roberts, this horse whisperer that I shared with you, or I shared with whoever got the email that I would talk about today. They have a lot in common for me, because for me, they represent the divine masculine. And I want to take a moment to honor the Father, to honor the men in our lives and our friends and husbands and partners and brothers and uncles and grandfathers and sons and grandsons and co-parents and step-parents and bosses and male co-workers and teachers and mentors, all those men who have helped guide us, provide for us, support us, and protect us in this life. This divine masculine archetype is in all men and women, all those who give birth to the qualities of courage, persistence, diligence in service, and mature emotional development, rational thought, and peace of mind. We give thanks for all of those people who helped us to just do it, to keep walking, to never give up, and to fiercely protect that which we love. For me, those are all divine virtues. We call it the divine masculine, but they're in all of us. And sometimes getting to that place can be incredibly challenging for us. For Monty Roberts and also for my teacher, Bhante Dharmawara, they had to give up a lot to move forward into that divinity. Monty Roberts grew up in a family who believed in corporal punishment, who would not spare the rod. They thought it would spoil the child. And he was severely beaten for his mistakes. And he watched horses be beaten. They called it breaking them in. So they would be subservient to humans. And he also watched horses in the wild. And he saw that they communicated with each other. And he tried to mirror their language. And he developed this system of communication he calls Equus, and a system of connection and trust and partnership with horses that he calls Join Up. And he's 86 years old now. And over 60 years, he's been showing the world that violence is never an option, and that we can gentle horses and they will choose to be our partners, that we don't have to break their spirit. When I went to the workshop with Monty Roberts and I drove into Flag Is Up Farms, there were these signs that made me cry. And they said on the way in, horses teach us about kindness, mindfulness, patience. And the workshop and the demonstrations on partnering with horses were all about that. They were about focusing on the breath. And Monte would say, bring the adrenaline down, and then the horse will relax and be open to learning. And he gave us a word, neophobia, which I love this word. It means fear of new things. Aren't we afraid of new things? Aren't we afraid of change? He says horses are neophobic, and so are humans. And so we have to get them and get ourselves to relax and to be open to partnership, to be open to trusting each other. And if we do that, then we can join up. We can be a team, and we're always more powerful as a team. We're always more powerful as a herd. And safe, right? So on the way out, at the end of the day, the signs said, today we experienced gentleness, humility, mindfulness, kindness, partnership, communication. All those qualities of the divine masculine and feminine that we need for healthy relationships with horses, any animal, the human animal. Sun Bear, the great Native American medicine man, once said, and it really stuck with me. I remember him saying it. He's this big burly guy. And he said, it takes a whole lot of strength to be kind. And I loved that because it does. Jesus said, what is it of you if you can love those who love you? That's not any big deal. Try loving those that hate you. and not returning anger for anger. There's merit in that. So it takes incredible strength to not curse those that curse us, right? To bless those that curse us, to love our enemies. So that's my simple message for today, is that all of us can be horse whisperers. People ask Monty Roberts, are you a horse whisperer? He says, yes. And so can you be. Yeah, because we all have it in us to do that. And we can be kid whisperers too. And we can be people whisperers. And we can be the love and the gentleness and the kindness and the sweetness. And we can learn to communicate verbally and non-verbally and energetically. One of my Lakota teachers, Basil Braveheart, is teaching about sound and how the sounds in Lakota communicate certain vibrations. And I was really paying attention because one of the sounds that Monty Roberts uses a lot to calm a horse is whoa, whoa, really slow, low tone. I was really listening to that. It reminded me of the Sufi, whoa. And Basil says that in Lakota, that whoa, pila, means eternal gratitude. And whoa, wakan means this is sacred. So I leave you with that. Whoa. And now I turn it back to you, Barbara, for a song and some sharing, whatever you want.
Oh, I'm just sitting with those beautiful stories and images and words that you shared, and also about the power of sound. So I feel tempted to just bring in a little bit my flute so we can sit back and just let those words settle in into the depth of our hearts and souls.